And welcome to another update video on Bitcoin. So, Bitcoin's price action is still, you could say unchanged. We're still moving in this overall correction. However, the bounce was quite weak that we've seen. That could be an issue going forward. That could be an issue. I mean, we're using this method and model here because it can pre-warn us. You might recall that I said already a few days ago we have a 5-wave move down. That's the first warning that this correction will likely extend, even though the bounce was even weaker than ideal, I would say. Even this wave 2 could have been a bit higher, or maybe we could have even seen a B wave bounce, but none of that really materialized in a very strong way. So that is a bit of an issue because especially from this week's high as well, I can identify a 5-wave move down, another one. So that means what we could be dealing with right now is wave 1 of 3, for example. Quick reminder, we have potentially seen wave A, wave B, and this is a 1-2 setup. This could be another 1-2 setup, and we break down like that. If this happens, I'm not confident that larger Fibonacci support will hold, okay? Gotta tell you straight away. It's basically between, okay, are we dealing with an A wave here, or are we dealing with a wave 4? If we're dealing with a wave 4, we should ideally hold that 101,500 level. The A wave can, of course, extend further. So I'm going to continue to follow and focus on further downside in this correction until I actually see a proper upside impulse. So whether that means we extend below 101K, it can happen, right? Over the weekend, I'm probably going to work on some alternative scenarios here because based on what I see in the microstructure, this is where it starts, yeah? This is where it typically gives us clues. Because what I see here, it's not very, it's not very, let's say it's not giving me much hope. It's probably the wrong word, but I'm not really convinced that we're going to hold 101,500 based on what I see right now on the charts. That can, of course, change. If I see any upside impulse and we suddenly break resistance, we might have to reevaluate. For now, the nearest resistance area is here between 110,200 and 112,360. Yeah, so I'm not convinced yet that this correction is over, but basically what that means translated is that based on the microstructure, it would project to prices probably below 101,500. Why? Basically just based on the microstructure. Look, if we have a wave 1 here, and this was our wave 2 bounce, circle wave 2, then circle wave 3 projects to the 100, 38% extension. So at least, okay, then we might get a wave 4 bounce and another low, so we might break support. That still could mean that even if we break support, we could get a larger bounce afterwards. But for now, what I'm saying is we might break first support for wave 4, which might make this white scenario less likely. We just have to follow here the trend on the smaller time frame. As I said, over the last few days, can't see really evidence that, let's say, this entire correction is finished. Would have liked to see a higher B wave, not gonna lie, because this would be more bullish. But it's not showing, right? So basically the combination of a weak B wave bounce and the combination of several 5-wave movements to the downside at least indicates that the structure could have potentially has to change. Not the microstructure. Okay, this still indicates further downside is likely still to come. But it might mean that the larger degree might need to be adjusted. Let's go to the larger time frame for that. Basically what it means is resistance here is now set between 110,215 and 112,360. Someone asked me, is it going to go down with it, like a straight line? Usually nothing moves like a straight line. We might do in a third of a third wave. So just be prepared. But we could still see another bounce here maybe over the weekend in what appears to be wave 2 potentially. The daily chart is so far unchanged, but I want to highlight here is this 101,550 level, 560 level might be broken. It's too early to say. Okay, we'll see how that correction unfolds. For now, there is no low confirmed anyway. What I posted earlier today in our membership area is that the RSI on the daily chart is obviously it's an indicator I like to use a lot because once it's oversold and goes to 30, below 30, it typically is a major, I don't want to call it buying opportunity because I can't really give anybody advice, but it's normally where the price turns around sooner or later. Now, we had it several times in this cycle. It was always a great signal. It happened here before, yeah, in March, February, March, April. There are videos where I highlighted the importance and usefulness of that indicator. It doesn't necessarily call the absolute low, but once we have an oversold one, you know, it can be an accumulation signal for some. It certainly means that a low is typically forming. Also, we had it back here, right, in August 2024. It just happened so many times, and it was always a great signal here as well in August 2023. And because it doesn't happen every day, it's always something I'm looking forward to. Typically, I buy when that happens. The next one is maybe around the corner. And so, you know, looking at the RSI itself, from where we've come from this 14th of August high where we were around 69, this has already come down quite a bit. And there is still some room in the support area. So I'm definitely looking forward to potentially us reaching 30, something that might be reached in this decline, okay? So be prepared for that. Again, that could be an opportunity. So I'll let you know about that. I'll keep you updated about that. So for now, pressure appears downward. I'm going to watch for a corrective bounce. I'm going to watch for signals even that a more substantial low forms. But honestly, until we break above resistance, the pressure appears downward. That's the update on Bitcoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.